Very happy to be here participating in the AVIA 2025 Aviation Summit. And Minister Counselor for Commercial Affairs, US Mr. Jonathan, President Honeywell Ashish Modi, President CEO Honeywell Aerospace Technologies, Mr. Jim Currier, Director for IATA, Mr. Amitabh Khosla, and other dignitaries, stakeholders, industry partners, and all the people concerning the aviation industry who are here. My warm good evening to each and every one of you, and namaste to all of you once again. So just 2 months ago, I had a very productive introduction with our US industry partners during the World Economic Forum in Davos. And it was there that I had the idea that we should sit together once again and discuss this whole aviation and the way MRO sector, everything is moving ahead in the country. And it's very good to see all of us together here, trying to collaborate, discuss the whole concept of how aviation is growing in the country. And I'm also delighted to see that this idea is taking shape, and my heartfelt appreciation to the US-India Aviation Cooperation Program and Honeywell also for organizing this wonderful event. And I'm also eagerly looking forward to this program and for a much needed dialogue, which is very much important for all of us here today. And the tagline for today's program, which is Aviation India Ahead. This, I think, truly captures the sector today and under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, and how he is trying to capitalize on the potential that aviation has today and grow the network. And the last 10 years, the kind of growth that we have seen in aviation, and to highlight our government's approach to aviation, I would also like to add the tagline, just like how we have Aviation India today, also we are stressing upon aviation indigenization today. And this is a commitment for self-reliant aviation industry in the country. And we want to encourage our OEMs and MROs to set up their shops in the country and to grow their foot space in the country also. And I believe for all of that, we must also look at aviation integration ahead, which is a synergy of industry partners, including the airlines, OEMs, MROs, and also support from the government. And this is where I believe that it is going to be a powerful platform for building a cohesive and an efficient aviation ecosystem. I must take a moment to also acknowledge that US-India Aviation Cooperation Program is strengthening the bonds between the industry partners and officials of the two countries since its inception in 2007. ACP has been a cornerstone of our meaningful dialogue, and I also appreciate Honeywell for efficiently utilizing this platform and creating a robust mechanism. As the fastest growing aviation market in the whole world, I see that this is the perfect time to partner with the Indian aviation. Government of India policies such as UDAN, which is Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, has provided the much required springboard to Indian aviation, shedding its previous limitations. Through various strategic initiatives, we have unlocked the potential of aviation in the country. Just in February, our Indian carriers have carried 1,40,00,000 people, which is 11% more than February 2024. And in the coming years, domestic air traffic is projected to grow at 10 to 12%, with international traffic supposed to be growing at 10 to 15%. And in just 8 years, the UDAN scheme that I've mentioned, which has created a robust mechanism for us to connect the domestic aviation network, we have operationalized 619 new routes through the UDAN scheme. And 1.5 crore people have traveled in these UDAN routes, and unserved and underserved airports of the country have benefited not only through the connectivity, but also getting an option for affordable connectivity in the country. We have seen the success of UDAN scheme in the last 8 to 9 years, and then we have requested the Honorable Prime Minister to extend it, which he graciously accepted. And in the recent budget speech, our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji has assured that what was envisioned for 10 years, the UDAN scheme, is now going to be extended for another 10 years and connecting 4 crore more people in the country. And for the next 10 years, we want to build 120 new destinations in the country. I'm putting these numbers out ahead so that you can imagine how much more potential aviation has. We have seen substantial growth in the last 10 years, but we are nowhere stopping here. We are just still in the beginning of the growth that we are seeing here today, and we want to capitalize more on this. We want to create more robust infrastructure. We want to bring in more aircraft fleet in the country. We want to encourage more aircraft carriers also to come into the country. And for creating that ecosystem in aviation, we want to encourage more MRO space also in the country. And to support this meteoric rise in aerial connectivity, we doubled our aircraft fleet in the last 10 years. What used to be 395 in 2014, we are up to more than 800 today in 2024. And now if you look at the orders, no other country has the number of orders of aircrafts that India has today. We have 1700 pending orders. My friend Campbell here would be knowing more about it. 1700 more aircrafts coming into the Indian skies in the next 10 to 15 years. Imagine the kind of market that is going to create, not only through aviation, not only in the connectivity, but also in the MRO space, in the job creation, in the economic activity. So sky is the limit here for us when you talk about aviation in the country. And contemporary airlines are also increasing the fleet, just like I've put up the number today. But what has Udan given us today is that the smaller airlines with smaller fleet, 2 aircrafts, 3 aircrafts, we have seen a lot of these airlines also coming into the picture. And now, this year itself, we are seeing not only 1, not only 2, but 3 new airlines coming into the Indian airspaces, which we feel is an indication of how attractive now Indian aviation has become. Now, as the Indian carriers are also expanding their global connectivity, there will be a significant increase in the wide body aircraft also to service for long haul routes. Driven by economic growth, expanding middle class and increased connectivity, this unprecedented growth is not only evident in the expansion of aircraft fleets, but also in the expanding MRO business. We are the fastest growing MRO market as compared to the global rate, which is 3 times more than the global rate the Indian MRO space is growing today. From 2021 to 2031, our MRO sector is to grow at an expected pace of more than 9% annually. Currently, what is supposed to be a $2 billion industry MRO space, we are expected in the next 6 to 7 years, it's going to double itself and become $4 billion industry for MRO space in the country. And we have some of the largest aircraft orders, which I've already mentioned. And a critical part of getting these orders and running these planes in the country, it is going to be dependent on how efficient your MRO space is. One thing we are truly concentrating from the ministry is also creating an affordable aviation system in the country. Because when you are catering for the masses, then that becomes an important priority for the government and for the sector also. And we have seen that aviation being a very sensitive market, it's dependent on so many things globally. Not just the taxes on the fuel, not just the MRO space, not just how the components are available, not just how the train workforce is available. There are multiple things which affect the economics of the airplane or the aviation mechanics. So to cater for better economics, to cater for better affordability in the aviation system, it is important that we get the whole aviation system properly set up in the country itself. And that is one proactive step which the ministry is also continuously taking. We are continuously meeting the industry partners, stakeholders, everyone, trying to get the feedback and trying to see if there is any policy paralysis or anywhere where we can do our part of it from the government so that we can increase the MRO space and we can increase the ecosystem that is there present today. And we have achieved self-reliance in online maintenance with import dependence at just 10 to 20%. The reliance on imports for component, airframe and engine maintenance, this still exceeds 60% today. This highlights a significant growth, scope for growth and development with the domestic MRO system. And a strong MRO system will not only ensure that expanding aircraft inventory remains airworthy and reliable, but also drastically reduces operational costs and foreign dependency. Moreover, this is also going to serve as a catalyst for creating skilled jobs, fostering technology innovation, and solidifying India's position as a global aviation hub. And we have made strides also in attracting global investments in this area. A shining example is Safran's Greenfield Engine MRO facility in Hyderabad, which represents up to USD 150 US dollar investment in Hyderabad and also in Bengaluru. Air India is constructing 35-acre MRO facility at the Bengaluru International Airport. The Airbus Tata partnership to establish a final assembly line helicopter H125 in India These are all important milestones for us of walking the talk that we are doing today. And these projects are more than just investments. They are symbols of India's growing prominence in the global aviation supply chain. And this is a testament to our efforts that make India as a leader in aviation and also the MRO services. And I am particularly proud on the measures we have taken to strengthen the domestic MRO industry. So like I said, the government has also been doing its part of it. We have also made some changes to the taxation, to the policies that we have. We have simplified the tax structure by announcing a uniform 5% IGST rate on the import of aircraft parts, components and tools. This decision removed the earlier complications which were caused by varying GST rates, which had created an inverted duty structure and inefficiencies in the whole system. Reducing GST on MRO services to 5% in 2020 and treating subcontract transactions by foreign OEMs as zero-rated exports, this has enhanced the competitiveness of our domestic MRO industry. And beyond taxation, we have also introduced policy changes that provide greater flexibility and also certainty to our MRO businesses. For example, in Union Budget 2024-25, we extended the export period for goods imported for repairs from 6 months to 1 year. And the time limit for re-import of goods under warranty has also been extended from 3 years to 5 years. These changes are aimed at addressing the practical challenges which were faced by the industry based on the input we got from the stakeholders in the industry. We had organized a roundtable for the MRO Association of India. We had in-depth discussion with them. We have trying to create a roadmap now. Our initial idea is to start with the aircraft components, but in the long term, we want to see India have its own regional transport aircraft also. We see with the kind of demand India is able to generate today, why not tap into that potential and go the ultimate step of creating that airplane itself in the country. Today we feel we have the technical know-how, we have the expertise, we have the talent, but we need to bring everything together. And that needs time, that needs effort, that needs support. And from the government, we are ready to take this as a priority step and move things forward. And the new MRO guidelines which were introduced in 2021, these were also another step in particularly pushing us into creating a better MRO space in the country. We have abolished royalties and we have ensured transparency in land allotments at our Airport Authority of India airports for better allotment of these spaces for MRO facilities near the airports. And there are also some tangible actions that we have done to create self-reliant aviation ecosystem. Tools and toolkits essential for MRO are now exempted from customs duty. We have allowed 100% foreign direct investment, and through MRO in an automatic route, which is going to allow for more investment to come into this MRO space. And I believe that we are on the right path here today, collectively discussing about the Indian aviation and the stakeholders all ensuring that the aircrafts, the airlines, airports, the aviation infrastructure, everything collaboratively moves together, supporting each other and creating a better ecosystem in the country. And I've also recently passed one legislation in the parliament, which is the Bharatiya Vayuyan Adhiniyam. And one important thing to take notice from that act is that we are considering India as a state of design now. It was not there before for international players, especially the ICAO, to see what India stands as an aviation market. Today we have changed the definition for it in the country. We are not only saying that India is looking at aviation as just a connectivity medium. We want to see India evolve as a state of design, as a state of manufacture, as a state of maintenance for these aircrafts also, which is going to deepen our technical know-how, is going to establish a stronger system in the aviation network in the country. And we are also looking at passing the protection of interests in aircraft objects bill, which is scheduled in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow. And I hope to get all the support from both the houses and we'll get it passed. And the reason here to get this one passed as soon as possible is to help the leasing industry, which is driving the aircraft market today. And we have got good feedback from the industry that this is what they want as soon as possible. And we are pushing it from our side. We are going to get it done, make it an act as soon as we are going to make it an act as soon as possible. And now with the coming of this act also, the leasing costs are going to reduce by up to 10% in the market, which is ultimately going to pass on to the consumer by having lower airfares. So it is with that process we want to speed up the passing of this bill. And the Indian carriers, we want them to lease more planes because that is the major requirement today. Lot of the MPs, anywhere I go, they're all requesting for more connectivity today. They want better connectivity, more improved connectivity. And when I'm talking to the airlines also, the one thing that we are observing is that there is less fleet. The demand is so high that we are not able to cater them with the existing fleet today. So we want more planes to come into the country. And with better leasing methods, with a proper legislation backing the Indian leasing industry, we feel that there's going to be a good inflow of aircrafts coming into the country, which is ultimately going to provide for the demand that is being created. And as the airlines seek to provide more comfortable and high-tech experiences for passengers, the aircraft's interior sector is also becoming an integral part of our MRO system. And if we see that multiple dedicated aerospace parks and MRO facilities are also coming up, states have also innovatively come up with these parks. Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, most of the states, they are trying to create aerospace parks now, inviting and creating incentives who want to come into this aviation industry, especially the technical side of it. And to support this, we are also equipping nearly 3,700 aspiring aircraft maintenance engineers, AMEs. What is also important for us to go hand in hand with the growing industry is that you need to ensure there is proper workforce in the industry. So you not only cater for what is the demand today, but also for 5 years, 10 years and 20 years down the road, you have to see that you are able to churn that much potential workforce in the coming days also. So we have good setup of FTOs for the pilots, good setup of AMEs across the country, but we are also looking at expanding the training network in the country also. We want to set up more FTOs, we want to set up more AMEs, and we want to improve the standards also, so that these training centers not only cater for generating the workforce which is required locally, domestically, but we want people from across the world to come here and get trained. Now it is the other way around, where people from India are going abroad, getting trained and coming back to work in the aviation industry. We want to reverse this situation. We want to create high quality FTOs, high quality training institutions in the country, in the aviation industry, so that people across the world can come here and get trained. And along with this, one specific area that we are thoroughly focusing upon is having more women in the aviation industry. This is something which we have taken inspiration from our leader, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who believes in Nari Shakti, the power of women, and we want to bring it up to aviation. And we have a number which we all feel proud about today. The global aviation numbers in terms of how many pilots are working in the entire workforce, it is 5% as compared to the total workforce. But in India, we have 15% of pilots which are women in the entire workforce. So we are proud of that number. But we want to push it even more. We feel that we have to go up to 25%, not only in terms of pilots, everywhere, let it be the technical side of it, everywhere in the industry, we want to promote more women to come forward and be in this aviation ecospace. And along with that, we have also proud to share that more than 50% in the pilots, 15% of air traffic controllers are also women, 11% of flight dispatchers are women, 33% of flight operator inspectors in the DGCA are women. So we have a great respect for inclusivity and having more women in the aviation ecospace. And definitely we would request more for the industry also to try to take up this aspect and create that kind of atmosphere so that there is an inclusion which is naturally happening. And I have to say that Honeywell, I think they have done Lead Hers in Tech program, which is also very encouraging for future generations to come forward. So other industry partners should create this kind of innovative programs, because aviation is an aspect which is going to continuously grow in the future also. Unless you think about the future and try to bring these passionate people into the industry, you are going to hit a roadblock where you will have the demand, where you might have the machines, you might have the infrastructure, but you might not have the talent to run this system, to run the show. So it is equally important for us to look at this side of the story also. And I would like to thank Honeywell also for doing their bit of it in this area. And I look forward to facilitate the American OEMs in the country also, as US leads the world in manufacturing and next-gen aircraft manufacturing with US partners like Boeing, Lockheed Martin. They're all present here. I would like to make a point that US-India Aviation Cooperation Program, they are also encouraging for more interaction, collaboration between the two countries, especially in aviation, which is a very priority sector for both the countries. And we have been doing a lot of exchange in this area, and I feel there is a need for further strengthening of the system. Both the countries are having a win-win situation in this. So definitely we need to take this collaboration in a stronger way forward. And India's future in the MRO sector is nothing short but truly promising. With the country's rapidly expanding fleet, increasing air traffic, and a growing demand for efficient and reliable maintenance services, India is also positioned to become the global hub for MROs also. And I'm sure that today's deliberations, which you're going to have, are going to lay a strong foundation for even greater collaboration and cooperation between the two countries in the aviation sector, and for building a vibrant aviation ecosystem that benefits both the nations. We need to have more such networking opportunities and more platforms where we can discuss the ideas and discuss the way and of the future. And these are very invaluable platforms. I once again like to congratulate US ACP and also Honeywell and all the important players across the aviation industry from both the countries who have come here together. From the ministry, I can tell you that we take these platforms, we take these summits, we take these meetings very, very seriously. Whatever feedback comes from these kind of platforms, we try to see how we can facilitate to those ideas, how we can bring them into the system, how we can create more better policies around it. Because today, at least in Ministry of Civil Aviation, we have become more of a regulator part of it. We don't have Air India now. All the trouble has gone to Campbell right now. And likewise, all the industry, most of it is thoroughly private. So we have to work as a team here, and we understand the importance of doing so also. We want to regulate in such a way that the industry is going to grow, regulate in such a way that it is going to facilitate for everyone to grow and create more opportunities, better opportunities for the country, because our collective growth is what is going to benefit the people of this country. So with these words, I would like to congratulate each and everyone who has put up this wonderful summit. Thank you once again for inviting me here and making me deliver this keynote address. And I wish you all the best. Our ministry is always there to help and support you, to move forward with you. And with that, I'd like to end my speech. Thank you once again. Jai Hind.